Without my own publishing company, or if the song hadn't already been a hit, things might have been different. I couldn't share half of a song that was already #1 and proven successful. Dolly Parton, the beloved country star, known for her bright smile and big-hearted nature, has finally revealed a secret she's kept for many years. At 79, she's naming the 6 singers she secretly disliked the most, and fans are shocked. Behind her glamorous image, there were rivalries, secrets, and backstage drama no one saw coming. Who made the list? What really happened between Dolly and these stars? Join us as we uncover the surprising truths that challenge everything we thought about America's sweetheart. Number 6 is Porter Wagoner, the mentor who later sued her in court. He was the one who discovered her talent and helped her rise to fame. But eventually, he took her to court. Porter wasn't just a duet partner to Dolly. He was her guide, her opportunity for TV exposure, and for a while, the main reason she became famous. In 1967, millions of Americans first saw Dolly when Porter brought her onto the Porter Wagoner Show. Her striking looks, unique voice, and warm Southern charm quickly made her a star. They performed together and climbed the country charts, forming one of the most famous duo acts in country music. What fans didn't see was what happened behind the scenes. Porter was known for being strict, controlling, and very protective of his fame. At first, Dolly was just learning the ropes, the new girl. Her talent was obvious, and audiences fell for her. But as her fame grew, her star started to shine brighter than Porter's. That change caused tension. She was no longer just his student. She was becoming a star on her own. Dolly wanted more than just being part of a duo. She wanted her voice and her own creative ideas. Leaving the show wasn't easy for her. Porter saw her desire to leave as a betrayal. When she announced she would leave in 1974, it was a tough moment. He felt abandoned, and she felt held back. Still, she decided to leave and forge her own path. 5 years later, their past conflicts re-emerged and caused more trouble. In 1979, Porter shocked the country music scene by suing Dolly for $3 million. He accused her of breaking their contract and wanted a share of her solo success. The lawsuit was more than a legal fight. It was deeply personal. Dolly found it heartbreaking. She had always admired Porter, despite their disagreements. Being sued by the man who once believed in her felt like a deep wound. She shared her feelings in her 1994 memoir, explaining how Porter's jealousy and need to control nearly broke her spirit. Instead of retaliating publicly or angry outbursts, Dolly chose a different path. She transformed her pain into a song. "I Will Always Love You" became one of her most famous hits, a heartfelt farewell to Porter. The lyrics were gentle and loving, but hidden inside was a clear message. She was moving on, whether he approved or not. The lawsuit shadowed a major moment in Dolly's career. It reminded everyone that fame often costs a lot. Although she and Porter mended their relationship before his death in 2007, the wounds from that time never fully healed. Dolly didn't complain in interviews or lash out in anger, but she never forgot the pain. What started as a mentorship turned into a fight for power, then a court battle. Still, Dolly stayed strong and proved she would always find a way forward. Just when it seemed she finally moved past that pain, a new voice from the indie scene made a harsh comment. In 2023, Jeff Tweedy, the lead singer of Wilco, was asked a simple question in a relaxed interview. He was asked to name a song that doesn't move him emotionally. It was meant to be a fun, casual moment. But what Tweety said next caused a stir. Without hesitation, he named "I Will Always Love You." Fans were stunned. Many saw it as a musical crime. The song is more than just a love ballad. It's a piece of music history. Dolly wrote it in the 1970s, and Whitney Houston's powerful version made it famous. The song has touched many hearts over the years. It's been part of tearful goodbyes and wedding dances. People connect to it deeply through their memories. When Tweedy dismissed it as emotionless, the reaction was swift. Fans from country, pop, and everyday listeners flooded social media. Their disbelief was clear. They couldn't understand how anyone could overlook a song like that. For them, it was more than just a song. It represented what the song stood for. The lyrics had helped people cope with grief, fall in love, recover from heartbreak, and remember loved ones lost. When Tweedy dismissed the song so casually, it felt less like an opinion and more like an insult. Yet, as the online debate grew fierce, Dolly Parton stayed silent. She didn't give interviews or post tweets. She didn't throw jabs or try to defend herself. She simply remained calm. Dolly's quiet confidence doesn't need loud words. Her silence showed strength and grace. In its own quiet way, it communicated more than any reply could. What came next proved her point even more. As Tweedy prepared to release his next project, something strange happened. It fell flat. No media buzz, no viral hits, no real interest. The industry that once pushed him now seemed oddly silent. Fans whispered, "Is this what happens when you attack someone like Dolly Parton? Was it bad timing, or did he hit a nerve that didn't sit well?" The truth is, Dolly doesn't need to curse her critics. Her career was built on poise, strength, and a solid sense of self. She's moved past betrayal, shrugged off industry slights, and responded to lawsuits with hit songs. She doesn't need to fight back to prove her worth. She lets her legacy and karma do the talking. Many have tried to underestimate her before. Before Tweedy, others tried to downplay her influence. They watched her rise even higher instead. Friends became rivals. Critics faded into the background. Those who doubted her finally saw how wrong they were. Dolly doesn't need to defend "I Will Always Love You." The world already has. Number 4, Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris. They were three of the biggest women in music: Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris. All of them are legends. They had built their careers long before plans for a joint album came up. Fans dreamed of a great collaboration. They pictured their voices blending like shining threads in a tapestry. When the news finally confirmed the project, excitement swept across country and folk fans. It sounded like a fairy tale. Three major stars working together to create magic. But behind the scenes, things were more complicated than anyone guessed. The idea of the trio had been around since the late 1970s. Still, they never made it happen. Not because they lacked desire, but because timing was off. Their schedules kept clashing. Record companies fought over control. Creative differences started to grow. Linda Ronstadt demanded everything be perfect in the studio. She cared about details and wanted precision. Emmylou Harris preferred a more raw, emotional style. She focused on feeling, not perfection. Dolly was already a huge star. She was doing movies, solo albums, and managing a growing public image. Despite their respect for each other, problems kept them apart. Dolly never showed her frustrations publicly. She kept the tension hidden. Years later, she shared a rare look at what really happened behind the scenes. She explained, "We had 3 different careers and 3 different ideas." Her voice softened as she added, "But we loved singing together." That one sentence carried a lot of meaning. It was honest, respectful, and quietly revealed their bond. When the trio finally released their album in 1987, it exceeded all expectations. Fans got what they wanted, and more. The album was a hit commercially, and critics loved it. It earned awards, sold well, and helped bring traditional harmonies back into the limelight. Most importantly, it showed the music industry that women could work together without trying to outshine each other. They could lead with grace, confidence, and talent. Yet, despite this success, the trio didn't last long. New projects faced delays, and reunions were rare. The harmony that sounded so effortless in the studio was hard to maintain in real life. Each woman had her own path, her own demands, and her own drive, pulling her in different directions. The trio was never meant to be a band built on permanence. It was a fleeting, beautiful moment that left fans wanting more. Just as Dolly was finally gaining recognition for her songwriting and versatility, something unexpected happened. A younger, powerful voice stepped into the spotlight. She took one of Dolly's most personal songs and made it her own. Soon after, a song overshadowed Dolly's. But why did it feel like both a tribute and a takeover? Stay tuned. Number 3 is Whitney Houston's version of "I Will Always Love You." When Whitney performed her emotional cover in The Bodyguard, everyone listened. Her voice soared with deep feelings and raw power. It became a part of pop culture forever. The song not only topped charts, but broke records. It reached #1 in many countries and became one of the best-selling singles of all time. Whitney's version was played everywhere. Romantic scenes, dramatic endings, and tearful farewells. But as applause for Whitney grew louder, something strange started to happen. People began to forget who originally wrote the song. It was Dolly Parton's words and melody, born from a painful goodbye, that gave the song its soul. For a time, her name was forgotten. Industry insiders whispered, did Dolly feel invisible? Did she stay silent as her work was erased? Still, she never showed any signs of bitterness. When asked how she felt about Whitney's version, she neither lashed out nor took the mic. Instead, she simply said, "I cried when I heard it, not because of the money, but because it was so beautifully done." She warned not to mistake grace for naivety. Dolly is tender-hearted but no fool. She kept full publishing rights to the song, which was rare at the time. When producers asked her to sell those rights for The Bodyguard, she smiled, shook her head, and said no. That decision later earned her a windfall of royalties. She used that money to buy a strip mall in Nashville. Dolly quietly and wisely kept control, letting others sing her words while she cashed the checks behind the scenes. Her balance of humility and control is what keeps her strong. Still, the tension of fame, legacy, and respect never quite goes away, especially when it comes from close to home. Dolly once used her platform to support civil rights. That put her in unfamiliar crosshairs. Her statement, "If you're not comfortable with gay people, you're the problem," was praised by progressives and human rights groups. But her longtime fans in conservative circles pushed back. Facebook threads lit up with anger. Some radio stations quietly removed her songs. Pundits who called her America's sweetheart questioned if she had gone too far. But Dolly didn't flinch. She didn't soften her message or apologize. She stood by her words. Then came the pandemic. As fears and misinformation spread, Dolly did something rare. She donated $1 million to fund vaccine research at Vanderbilt University. When the Moderna vaccine arrived, she rolled up her sleeve on camera in a sparkly cold shoulder top. She sang a playful version of Jolene to mark the moment. It was classic Dolly, charming, brave, and unbothered. But the backlash quickly followed. Anti-vaxxers flooded her comments. Trolls called her a traitor. Conspiracy theories spread fast. Still, Dolly stayed quiet, then doubled down. She urged her fans to trust science. She reminded everyone to look out for each other. She's never cared about pleasing everyone. Dolly belongs to herself. Her voice may be soft, but her silence can be sharper than most loud protests. Behind closed doors in a Nashville industry meeting in the 2010s, a young country artist made a casual remark. Dolly Parton hasn't mattered to radio in 20 years, he said.